And we are live and we are back. Let's go. I'm Corey, your host, one half of the Corey and Full of Fed podcast. And I'm back like I never left with another installment of Money Mindset here on the Corey and Full of Fed podcast. We discuss health and wealth, finance and fitness, and everything in between. And we want to make sure you save more and say less and keep making better your best. Yes, yes. And I know y'all see the topic of today's video. I touched on this last episode. We're going to get into, is America even affordable for Americans? We're going to get into how much it costs to be single in major cities, how much it costs for a family of four in those major cities, and then the same thing from a single and married perspective, but for all of the states in the United States of America. And today, or should I say tonight, because it's 10 p.m. on a Friday night, we're going back to good old faithful CNBC. And these articles were written by the same person. So we're going to get from a verbiage standpoint, a perspective of the same thing. And I'm highly interested to see what these numbers actually are for 2023. This is your first time listening. You may not have heard this before, but I've discussed many of times what the actual number is for what you need to live just in general, right? When you see, the cost of living or what the median income is for all these states or across America. And that number is higher than what most people want it to be, but it just is what it is. And I'll get my thoughts on that because that's what this episode is about later on. But before we get into it, y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all comment, like, share, and just subscribe. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you leave those rating reviews on the podcast platforms as well. My information, as well as my co-host Jordan information, can be found in the description on YouTube. Jordan Stop Stalling J on socials, and I'm sideline_Corey on the socials. All right. And look, monthly car payment is still the same thing. I said I'm gonna check on it once a month. This is the beginning of the month. It's beginning of May. So it was still the same number. It was $730 something for a new payment. So we're gonna do a check-in every month, sort of a pulse check on what the monthly car payment is in the United States of America. How fast will we get to 1,000? No one knows, but I'll probably be one of the first to update y'all because I'm gonna keep checking in on it. Student loans, again, still waiting for the presidential debate to really heat up, and we're going to see how important student loans are for the Republican and the Democratic Party this upcoming election. All right. And last but not least, don't sue me, sue your mama. This is for entertainment purposes only. Myself, nor Jordan, nor fitness financial professionals. Anything you hear is for entertainment purposes only. You need to seek a professional and do your own research before taking any action. All right. Let's get into it, y'all. I am excited for this episode. For those of y'all, it's your first time listening, this is a late night episode as far as me recording, so words might be slurred. My eyes may look heavy. I'm 100% sober. I am just tired. And as my friends know that I grew up with, when I'm tired, my filter is just gone. But all right, y'all, let's get into it. Americans can't afford America. That's just, man. These numbers are, I've already said this before, but the numbers are going to be, when I say, well, not over 500,000, but it's going to be more than likely that it's going to be over $100,000. It's just that simple because that's just how much it costs. Like, I don't know what people, what they want it to be. So like I said, we're going to do single, then married for major cities. Then we'll do single and married for all the states. I think it's the best way to group it. So the numbers are, or the topics we're talking about as far as location is pretty similar. All right. So again, here we go. The CNBC make it. The salary a single person needs to live comfortably in 25 major cities. I believe the married one for this is only going to be 20 major cities, but my guess is going to be at least the same 20. Published Wednesday, March 20th. Updated Wednesday, March 20th. And this is by Mark Winters, and the other three articles are going to be by Mr. Mark Winters as well. All right. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Don't want to, misgender Mark. I'm assuming Mark is a Mr. Anyways, to live comfortably as a single person in 99 of the largest U.S. metro areas, you'll need a median income of $93,933, $100,000 to live comfortably. Interested to see if and comfortably is the word that Mark Winters is using on all these articles, I believe, what it takes to live comfortably in these particular areas. So I'm interested to see what comfortably is defined as, or comfortable. And for those of you who don't know, I do not read these articles ahead of time. Shout out to Mark. Comfortable, because sometimes these articles don't define the words that they use, like as far as the title of the article. Comfortable here is defined as the income needed to cover a 50-30-20 budget. I hate the 50-30-20 budget, which assumes 50 of your monthly income can pay for necessities like housing and utility costs. 30% can cover discretionary spending, and 20% can be set aside for savings or investments. Let me not say I hate the 50-30-20 rule for budgeting. It's not specific. Like these are broad things for your categories for your money, but most people have a debt, a savings, or slash investing goal. Those are two major things you have. The debt goal, there's no debt goal here in the 50-30-20 budget. Where's the debt? This is 50% of your monthly for necessities, 30% is discretionary. That 30% should be going toward discretionary spending. How much debt you got? And then 20% set aside for savings slash investments, retirement type things. Let's be very clear. And shout out to that 20%. Never mind. Remember, I usually say 15% on here. It's 20% of your net they're talking about here. But 15%, 20%, if it's 20% they're talking about you should be investing, that means you only get to live off of 80%, which is, obviously the math here, 50-30, right? 20, but come on now. But yeah, there's nothing specific here relating to paying off debt, which is most people's issue when it comes to the finances of the United States of America. Let's just be honest about that. Smart Asset extrapolated the income needed for a 50-30-20 budget based on the cost and necessities using data from the MIT Living Wage Calculator, which I have, and I've been meaning to go through that. Disregard that. Anyways, here's the income a single person needs to live comfortably in the 25 U.S. cities with the highest cost of living. I think these articles are short, so it's just going to be me ranting, I think, about all these different things. New York City, the highest, almost 140, 138,000. San Jose, California, 136K. Irvine, California, 126. Santa Ana, I don't know where Santa Ana is at, California, 126. Boston, 124, almost 125. San Diego, 122. Chula Vista, California, 122. San Fran, 119. Seattle, 119. Oakland, California, 118. Arlington, Virginia, 117. Newark, New Jersey, 116. Jersey City, 116. Long Beach, 114. Anaheim, 114. Honolulu, 111. LA, 110. Aurora, 110. Portland, 110. Riverside, California, 109. Atlanta, ATL made the list, 107. Sacramento, 104. Raleigh, 102. Gilbert, Arizona. Is that why Gilbert's name is Gilbert? Never mind. I think he went to Arizona. Gilbert, Arizona is 102, and then Glendale, Arizona, 102. Okay, yeah, and this is just 25 cities with the highest cost of living. All right. Now, one thing when we're talking about when it comes to cost of living for these particular cities, in short, people in general just group LA. So everything on here that wasn't San Francisco, I know these other places probably aren't as near, but LA, San Diego and LA are over 2.5 hours apart. But LA is just one major area when people are talking about, all these various areas in California. But you can see they have broken down here to the explicit cities in California. When we come here, look at here, number 11, where it says Arlington, Virginia. I really wish, maybe I'd be the person to do this, and we'll see where Maryland ranks at when we get to the state numbers. But Arlington, Virginia, or Nova, which is what Arlington, Virginia is part of, Northern Virginia, DC, and then Howard County, PG County, Montgomery County, Anne Arundel County. If you put those 4 counties, DC, and the major cities in Nova, all in one thing, I'd be shocked if that number isn't close up here with New York. And it says New York City, but New York, we'll probably, let me see if we get into median income. New York City's median income is not even 66K. Look at this number. Like, this is when it starts getting crazy. When people are complaining about stuff. New York, and this is as of 2022, I believe, 40K. It's not even 40, it's 39,000 median income. What? Household income is 76, they're saying. So the person is 39, household income is 76. Like, what are we talking about? This is for a single person. So a single person was 39. They're 100K short. That's poverty. If you're 100K off, and you're not even at 100K yet, unless you're at 99,000. People are making, this is 2022 numbers, and as far as the 39K, but this article is, my guess, is speaking to 2023, if not 2024 numbers. Let's just still keep it. Let's just say, even if it was 50K, you're still 90K almost behind. That's just, you're talking about 140. I mean, that's insane. New York City, again, first overall requiring income of 138. All right, for a single person to live comfortably. In contrast, single people in Houston need to earn 75,000, the lowest amount of all major cities. So Houston is the lowest. So never mind. All right, so that means if you got money in Houston, we were like, yeah, because it don't cost that much compared to all these major cities. Anyways, other large coastal cities follow New York in the rankings. LA, Honolulu. Is Honolulu considered a coastal city, being that it's on an island? What it all? Never mind. Anyways, I mean, you have inlands on islands, but you have the inland on island, but whatever. San Fran, Seattle, Boston, you need 110K or more to live comfortably as a single person. I mean, 6 figures to live comfortably. And I would say this living comfortably, as I mentioned before, is not only is the 50-30-20 budget not debt focused. I would say it means you don't have any debt, any consumer debt. The only debt in that 50-30-20 would be your mortgage. Student loans can't be in that. Car loans, credit card payments, because I want to be clear. 110 for 110K plus, and Boston, Honolulu, LA, San Fran, Seattle, New York. No, not if you have debt. Not if you have debt. All these cities, and living on your own, by the way, I don't know if this is considering living on your home for your housing. All these cities command some of the highest living costs in America. Yeah, for housing, as I was just talking about, according to the Council for Community and Economic Research. Californians in particular have suffered. California suffering from everything. From a long-standing housing shortage that's worse than the U.S. overall, so it's not surprising that 11 cities from the state are among the most expensive places to live, thus requiring high salaries to live comfortably. I would say in California, to live comfortably, that number has got to be close to, well, for a single person, that number, for a single person in these cities they mentioned in California, that comfortably number is closer to $250,000. No, because remember, you guys taxes in California are so damn high. Right? Isn't it 15%? California state income tax would be 50%. 15. Should I say it goes up to 15? Is it not that? As I'm getting lightly distracted. I should get that. The person who said I always get distracted on here. I should find that thing. Yeah, it can get all the way up to almost 15%. That's crazy. Great. And remember, when you're single, you're in that higher, you're paying more money in the higher tax brackets earlier than the married people. So you're going to be closer to that 24-32% of these places. If you're in New York, yeah, they're telling you to be. Here I go again, y'all. Only if I had the tax brackets memorized like I'm supposed to. You're going to be in that 24% tax bracket. Excuse me, getting destroyed. I shouldn't have done that, Mike. Anyways, all right, here we go. California, okay, in particular. Okay, while employers in large, high-cost cities tend to offer higher than average salaries, they don't match the cost of living in these areas, though. As a way to attract and retain talent, housing costs can make it difficult to maintain a 50-30-20 budget. Yeah, Arlington, Virginia, jobs that are offering you salaries out there, the average salary is not 110. Now, for certain positions, they might be. But everyone who's working in Nova is not getting, or DC, Washington DC metropolitan area, that median or average is not 110. In New York City, a third of residents spend half of their income on rent. Half. 33% of people are spending 50% of their income on rent alone. That is insane. And that's rent. At least this is a mortgage. Sure, this is rent. It's not even a mortgage. It's rent. Okay, that's according to the Community Service Society. To compensate for high housing costs, residents commonly, they also in New York City, though, most people don't have the vehicle costs. So no car insurance, no gas, none of that type of stuff. To compensate, no maintenance on the vehicle. Compensate for high housing costs, residents commonly find room elsewhere in their budgets, whether that's skipping out on home ownership or spending less on discretionary purchases. Definitely spend less on discretionary purchases. Either way, those who live alone pay a significant singles tax in large cities when it comes to the cost of food, shelter, and transportation. I think that's it for this article. All right. Correction, a previous version of this article misstated the name of Jersey City, New Jersey. New Jersey City. Yeah, all right, y'all. So again, this is for single. Most of these places are on the coast, but it's anywhere from 102,000 when we're talking about Glendale, Arizona, all the way up to almost 140, 138,000 for single people when it comes to New York City. Almost $1.50 for New York City. All right. Now we're going to get into, let's talk about married family. Well, not some of these people are married, but a family of 4 to live comfortably in 20 major cities. All right. Oh, look at this little girl. Oh, never mind. Okay, family of 4. And again, this is the income of family of 4 needs to live comfortably in 20 major cities, still by Mark Winters. This was written March 27th of 2024. So we got that last article. Mark was putting in work, I bet, when he's writing these articles. Anyway, a family of 4 needs to make more than $275K to live comfortably in some of the most expensive cities. I'm gonna tell you right now, this number, when it said we talk about comfortably, this is where I'm gonna start breaking it down for these major cities. That number is not 275K for it's probably 275K for none of these places at the top. The top 20, none of them. Anyways, comfortable again, defined 50, 30, 20 budget. We already talked about this. All right, and again, they still use the same MIT living wage calculator. Here's a look again. So San Fran. So see, look, here we go. Arlington, Virginia at 318. I'm trying to tell you, look, Nova, look, that number. Oh my goodness. I'm just skimming real quick. Washington, D.C. See, Washington, D.C. and Arlington are the same place. All right, let me just show y'all a map. For those who don't know, most people I believe are listening to this. Live in this area, Arlington, VA. Let me show y'all a map real quick so you can see where Arlington is compared to Washington, D.C. For those who don't know, okay, Arlington, Virginia, it borders Washington, D.C. There's a bridge right here. This should be the Wilson Bridge, right? At the time, yeah, no, that's the 14th. All right, anyways, regardless, the Wilson Bridge is down here. Who cares? It doesn't matter. My mouse is always janky. Regardless, it is Washington, D.C. and Arlington, Virginia border each other. So it's just the same place. Okay, even though geographically it's not the same place. It's a different part, different city. It's in Virginia. But see see the White House, like it's just right there. All right, so it's the same place. Okay. So when I say it's the same place, when you look like the housing, the cost, the places that you're going to buy food, right? When people talk about inflation, gas, all these different type of things, the people who live in those various areas, all that type of stuff, it's the same place. Just like how LA is or California is grouped, like even though San Fran, LA, San Diego, they're far apart. San Fran and Oakland are close together, but all these places are far apart in California. We just all view it as LA. Most people aren't from there. We just view it as LA. California is expensive when we're talking about LA, San Fran, San Diego. We just view it all as the same place. And when it comes to New York, we're talking about New York City, and New York City is a very small part of the state of New York, right? But when you talk about New York, you're talking about the city of New York. You're not talking about any other place. All right. 339,000 tops the list for San Fran, 334 for San Jose, 319 for Boston. How come Boston doesn't have its city attached to it? Anyways, Arlington, Virginia, 318. New York City, 318. Oakland, 316. Urban Honolulu, Hawaii. Is that a place? Anyways, 299,000. So the top 6 are all over 300,000. They're all roughly in the same range, except the top 2 being over 330. My goodness. Irvine, 291. Santa Ana, 291. Portland, 289. San Diego, 289. Chula Vista, 289. Newark, New Jersey, 285. New Jersey City, 285. Seattle, 283. Aurora, 280. Long Beach, 280. Anaheim, 280. LA, 276. And DC, 275. These numbers are right on the low end. When it says a family of 4 here, and my assumption is this is gross. This is not net. But if they're talking about you need to save 20%, okay, let's just go for the 275 number. Let's just make it easy and say it's 250K. 20% of 250K is 50,000. You got to save/invest $50,000 every year. If you're talking about from an investing standpoint, your savings goal is what it is. Once you reach your emergency fund, whatever it is, you stop investing that. But when it comes to investing, right, retirement investing, whatever it is, long-term investing, you do that every year. So at least $50,000. So let's say we're at 250 to make the math simple. You go from 250 down to 200. All right. Now you got 80% of your money left. Then you got to pay taxes. This is for married people, so they're going to be in that. A lot of that money is going to be in the 24% tax bracket. But let's just split it and let's say another 15%. So we're at 200,000 now because we did 50K for investing. So 15% of 200,000. Now we're at 30K. So that's 30 plus 50, which is 80. And all we've done is invest and pay taxes. And by the way, we invested so we have the minimum enough amount of money to live off of when we retire, not like a whole bunch of money. 15% is like the floor or to invest in from a percentage standpoint. Excuse me, I did 20% in this case. They did 50, 30, 20. Anyways, we're at $170,000 and all we've done is pay taxes and invest. We actually haven't paid any bills. When we talk about the mortgage, we're talking about being 25% of your gross back to 250K. What's that going to be? That's 625. Yeah, 25 times 25 is 625. Right, so that's $6,200. Right in that? Yeah. Yep. Okay. No, my bad. That's for the year. So it's $62,000, $62,500 for the year. So divide that by a month. That's $5,200 a month. All right. So let's call it $5,000. So let's do 60 though. Okay, with the math. So now we're at 25% for your mortgage, right? So that's 170 minus the 60, right? So we're at $110,000, and all we've done is pay taxes, invest for retirement, and pay the mortgage. No groceries. Do these people have debt, right? For 110, right? If you divide 110, let's just put it at 120. That's $10,000 a month, and you've yet to pay anything besides your mortgage, invest, and taxes. You haven't paid for a family of four health care, which is going to run you a rack. So some people might run you a rack a check. Average family of four healthcare. That's the one, and that's what gets me. Yes, healthcare is expensive in America, but that doesn't mean it's going to be unexpensive. Bless the Lord. When I tell you I'll be pulling these numbers, like I say, like out of my butt, not like just like making it up, but I just have it in my head, like guesstimating. As of January 2024, the average annual cost of health insurance for a family for the United States is around $23,968. That's $24,000, by the way. Okay, so that's $2,000 a month. It's $2,000 a month for the family for this for healthcare. So we got 50K for investing for the 20% of the 250K. We got 50K right there to invest at 20%. Now we're at $200,000. Then let's just say we're going to pay another 15% in taxes between state and federal taxes on the low end. So that's 15% of 200,000. That's 30,000, right? So now we're at 170K. Right now we got to have a mortgage, right? That's 25%. 25% of your gross. That's $60,000 a year. Doing rough numbers here. So now we're down at $110,000. All right, now let's just make it easy. Say you're at 120 for the math. Now we got to pay for this family health care at 24K. Let's just call it $20,000 there to make it simple. You got 100K to live off of for a family of four for the whole year. All right, that's $8,330 now and 33 cents repeating, whatever the hell it is. All right, let's say you got $8,500 and all you've done is pay for your mortgage, have health care, didn't even pay for dental and vision. We don't cost as much healthcare, but all you're doing is pay for healthcare here, taxes, and you're investing. We didn't talk about life insurance, car insurance. Let's just have mortgage insurance, renter's insurance wrapped into the mortgage payment there, which is it's not, by the way. Then we have life insurance. As I said, you have your cell phone bill, your utilities, right? Do you have debt payments? Are there 2 car payments? Are there 2 student loan payments? The average person has 4 credit cards, so 2 adults, that would be 8. Are there 8 credit card payments? Like, how many credit card payments do you have? Are there medical bills? Are there children in activities? And you about to make this work on $8,500? Because remember, these are in the high. These are in the highest cost of living areas. So debt is what it is. But these extracurricular activities, kids in sports, private school, martial arts, whatever it is, that stuff costs more. Going out to eat, that has a higher dollar amount to it. $8,500, right? You subtract 500 from 8,500, you always get 8,000, right? But if it costs more than 500 to do something, you're gonna be under 8,000. It's that simple. These are high cost of living areas based off these figures that they use, but also the figures that are not equated into this cost of living are still likely going to be higher in these various areas. If you make over $250,000 gross, what type of vehicle do you think these people drive? Not all of them. right? Some of them are going to, be real about it. But a lot of times people are going to have debt attached to luxury vehicles. Healthcare is already two racks a month. Then if we add in shit, yeah, I mean, see, I tell you it's late night. I'm not trying to cuss. Y'all got me fucked up. Then you add daycare in this bitch. We already talked about daycare a few episodes ago. Daycare was what, 36? I remember it was something like 18 to 20, something like that. Let's just call it 20K to split the baby. The bad metaphor. We're talking about daycare. Let's just call it 20K. So now we're down from 100K, because remember we went from that 120 to 100K for the daycare. Now we at from 100K to 80K because we're paying for daycare. How you on a family of 4? We haven't even eaten yet, and we down to 80K a year. We around $6,500 a month. 7 times 12 is what, 84? Let's just say it's at 7,000. You got $7,000 a month, and you haven't even eaten yet. You ain't paid no debt besides a mortgage. San Fran is the most expensive overall. Okay, we talked about that. Other major cities notoriously for having large, expensive, housing areas. Again, my guess is the end of these articles will be set up relatively the same. California homes are about twice as expensive as a typical U.S. home. Makes sense, according to the Legislative Analyst Office, a nonpartisan government agency in the state. Okay, we have fourth largest. California. Wait, what? Okay, California as a state has the fourth largest one. All right. We'll probably get into that to those next articles. Out of all 99 cities Smart Asset examined, a family of 4 would need a median of $226,886 to live comfortably. In Houston, the income needed drops to $175,219. So everybody going to Houston, getting that money, but it don't cost, according to this article, it don't cost as much to live there. Anyways, the lowest of all cities examined. That's still higher than the median family income in the United States, right? Of $92,000. Oh my goodness, that's according to the U.S. Census Bureau. While employers in these high-cost cities tend to offer higher than average salaries, they're not offering you. Nah, in DC, 2 people are not making 150. I mean, at a point in time, they might. They're both working. But you talking about Arlington? I said 150. Yeah, it's still about 300. Arlington, yes, but not as many as you think. And even then, so it's still not enough. When we add daycare in this bitch, it's a wrap. It's Christmas gift. It is a full blown wrap for the budgets out here. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. All right. Anyways, while employers, they offer these higher salaries to attract and retain talent. Housing costs can make it difficult. These employers aren't, they don't have that much control over the price of housing. They can only offer you with so much. They got to stay in business to keep paying your ass. In large cities, housing costs often exceed 30% of household income, leaving little room for other necessities like utilities, food, and transportation. To make ends meet, families might skip out on home ownership, owning a vehicle, or discretionary purchase. I don't know about owning a vehicle if you're not in one of these, cities that have public transportation. I guess you can do it in San Fran. Maybe New York. Not maybe. New York, you can do it. And you can do it in. See, the issue is the public transportation system over here in the quote unquote DMV, but Nova, DC, Maryland area. It's mainly just for DC. It goes out into Nova and parts of Maryland, but it's for DC. Like you're not, if you're living in PG County or Montgomery County, you're living in Nova, Arlington. You're not like, oh yeah, I got access to the metro, so that's how I'm gonna live your life. Like it's not like how it is in actual inside, the district. All right, so that's oh my goodness, I gotta say that's it, y'all. Locked and loaded. 1 second, y'all. Okay, it's still recording. Okay, but anyways, I got this warning here. But no, yeah, we could talk about how I could just end it here and leave off of what it is for the major cities. But now we're going to get into all of the states. Okay. Those are just the major. Those aren't the states. Those are the major cities in America. All right. Salary a single person needs to live comfortably in every U.S. state now. April 16, 2024. Again, shout out to Mike Winters putting in crazy work. Here we go. A single person will need to earn over six figures to live comfortably in the most expensive U.S. states. Remember, we're talking about every state here. Again, 50, 30, 20 budget is definition of comfortable. And again, MIT living wage calculator. Here's a look at the 5 most costly states for single workers based on how much money residents would need to earn each year to live comfortably. Massachusetts is first at 116, Hawaii 113, Cali 113, New York 111, and Washington State 106. All right. To live comfortably on your own in these states, you need to earn nearly double what most single earners typically make, as the median income for single full-time workers is around 60K. National median for living comfortably alone is $89,461, which suggests that a 50-30 budget might not be practical for most single people. It's not practical. 50-30 budget is a good budget, like when you're in short on your financial literacy journey, you're trying to figure out which budget to do. I don't put anybody on 50-30-20 budget, because when you first start out, your budget is what it is when it comes to these percentages. Like we don't force it to fit these 50-30-20 parameters from budgeting standpoint. You kind of already have what you have. We figure out your goal, and then we make your budget, put you in a position to be able to accomplish your goals. It is what it is. Living alone comes with our added costs that can be more than double what you spend if you live with someone else. True. I try to tell people, don't get married to get married for the tax benefit. But if you want to not have a lot of money, boy, be out here in this bitch single. My God. Anyways, otherwise known as the single tax. Yeah, single people pay higher taxes. This is not hidden. The one benefit of being single, though, is your healthcare cost is lower. That's my healthcare for myself. My health, dental, and vision is I pay no money for it. It's $0. When I have my wife, and my son on it, that's when it costs money. But for me, I don't pay any money at all. I mean, I pay money now because my wife and my son on it. But before, when we just had our enrollment period, I was like, oh, if it was just me, I'd pay any money at all. Housing is most again obviously expense, but single people also pay extra costs for groceries, travel, transportation, entertainment. Yes, when you go to the grocery store, they don't sell things for one person; they sell things for two, but usually for roughly 3 or 4 at least. Right? They're not saying, oh yeah, this is how much you buy this one pack of something, and this for multiple people to eat that, not just you. Right? And then we talk about how I've already said this before. I think around 20% of people's plates is what they're throwing away from a food standpoint. So for every $100 in short that you spend, you're throwing away roughly $20 on average. Yep, and then groceries, travel, entertainment, and transportation. To make ends meet while living alone, you might need to find room in your budget. That can mean choosing a smaller space or spending less on discretionary purchases like travel. Okay, here's a look at the income needed to live comfortably in each state, listed in alphabetical order. All right, here we go. Alabama, 83K. Alaska, 96. Arizona, 97. Arkansas, 79. Yes, for internet purposes, I'm gonna go through all of these. California, 113. Colorado, 103. Connecticut, over 6 figures. Delaware, 94K. Florida, 93K. Georgia, 96. Hawaii, 113. My goodness. Idaho, 88. Illinois, 95. Remember, this is a comfortably number. Indiana, 85. Iowa, 83. Kansas, 84. Kentucky, 80. Look to the south. Here we go. Louisiana, 82. Louisiana got Kentucky beat. What y'all doing in Kentucky? Anyways, I guess you got New Orleans, right? Whatever. It's under the water. Maine, 91. Maryland, there we go. Maryland, 102. Massachusetts, 116. Michigan, 84. Minnesota, 89. Mississippi, 82. Missouri, 84. Montana, 84. Nebraska, 83. Nevada, 93. New Hampshire, 98. New Jersey, 103. New Mexico, 83. New York, 111. North Carolina, 89. North Dakota, 52. North Dakota, 52? There probably aren't enough people in North Dakota to be really getting any good data, right? Anyways, Ohio, 80,000. Oklahoma, 80. Oregon, 101. PA, 91. Rhode Island, 100. South Carolina, 88. South Dakota, 81. I guess South Dakota is all the money at when it comes to the Dakotas, I guess. Tennessee, 86. I know it'd be cold as hell in the Dakotas. Tennessee, 86. Texas, 87. Utah, 93. Vermont, 95. Virginia, 99. Washington, 106. West Virginia, 78. Wisconsin, 84. Wyoming, 87. So outside of North Dakota, most of these places are at 70K. Around the 70, 80K range, with a lot in the upper 80, 90, and 6-figure range. I mean, it just, and this for a single person. Again, this is no debt. I don't care what it says. This is your gross with no debt. Yes, there's a 50-30-20 budget, but there are no debt payments working there beside a mortgage. There's no way you're adding in car payment and student loan payment and credit card payment and saying that you can make 116 was the most. 116 for Massachusetts. If you have mortgage / rent that you're paying for completely, so you're not splitting it with anybody, car payment, student loan payment, and credit card payment, 116 will not make it anywhere. I mean, you got to go to North Dakota. You got to go to North Dakota. Shout out to Carson Wentz. You got to go to North Dakota to make this work. I mean, this is insane when you see these numbers, and they're still so far off. If y'all run the numbers, this is damn near double. I always say, whatever the median income is for the state that you live in, you need to make double that. You need to make at least that to make it no debt, but you don't need to be closer to double that to make it with no kids and no debt. So two people, if you make 100% of the median income, get together, you'll be making double of the median income, no kids, no debt, and that'll be a great foundation to get started. And that's just what the numbers are. I already ran the numbers. When you talk about, a family of 4, we already talked about what you're about to get into for every state. But we already talked about percentage-wise when you're paying investing, which is this 50-30-20 budget. They did 20%. I mean, you got 80% to live off of. And I know I'm like, yeah, duh, Corey, there's a 50-30. That's 80. But when you start doing the math and how I broke it all the way down, and you get down to $7,000, $8,000, and you ain't even fed yourself yet, and you coming from $250K. We went from $250K a year, which is, what is that? Around $12,000 a month. Wait, hold on. 12 times 12. My bad. It's geez, what is it? 15? Is 18? Jesus. And that's why I know I'm too tired to even do the math. 25 divided by 12. 20,000. I said, I know this. Look, I told you I'm tired. It's almost 11 o'clock. It's around 21,000. Let's call it $20,000 a month. You're making gross. You start breaking that down, you're left with around $7,000-$8,000. What are we talking about? You got to eat. If you put once you put kids in daycare, it's over. The conversation is done. That budget is dead. Y'all struggling. Y'all might be living in poverty. Y'all, that's why the numbers come out. People making over 6 figures, they still struggling. All right, y'all. And as we wrap up for the last article, the income a family of 4 needs to live comfortably in every U.S. state. Again, Mark Winters, April 20th, 2024. All right, Mark, let's close it out with a bang. Most expensive state to raise a family of 4 is in New York, California, Hawaii. It's Massachusetts. Still Massachusetts for single people and married people. Shout out to Boston. So Boston, for city-wise, for single people, was 5th at $124,000. Then for married people, it was 3rd at $319,000. My God. Okay, comfortable again, 50-30-20 MIT living wage calculator. Top 5 most expensive states. Massachusetts, 301. Hawaii, 294. Connecticut, 279. New York, 280. And California, 276. California, 276. I guess it was going to be this is the median number. No. California, 276, family of 4. No. The homes out there are over 4 times that. $1 million home in California, just throw a rock, you don't hit one. No. Well, most of these states are known for high housing costs. Again, we talked about contrast to these states. Mississippi is the least expensive. Shout out to the Confederate flag on their state flag, requiring only Mississippi. Even in Mississippi, they talking about you need 180 bands for a family of 4. My God. America, the median is 213. That's not what it is. They're talking about like 90K, 90 something like that. Let's say 100K. People, the median income is halfway there for what you need to live comfortably. And y'all still trying to tell me you get to go on vacation and not pay off your debt aggressively. I'd be confused. By the way, you can go on vacation and pay off your debt aggressively, but I just be dumbfounded when we start talking about these numbers. It's a general trend. More rural areas cost less. Thanks. On the coast, major cities, California, New York cost more. Thank you. But rural states, have lower wages. Median annual wage for workers in Mississippi is $37,500 compared to New York being $56,840. As a result, some of the higher costs of living in urban states are offset through higher wages. Okay, now we're going to go state by state for a family of 4. Alabama, All these numbers are going to probably be over 100K and closer to 200K than you think. Alabama's 193, Alaska 242, Arizona 230, Arkansas 180, Cali 276. Excuse me. Colorado 264, Connecticut 279, Delaware 228, Florida 209, Georgia 212, Hawaii 294, Idaho 211, Illinois 231, Indiana 206, Iowa 211, Kansas 196, Kentucky 190, Louisiana 189, Maine 229, Maryland 239, Massachusetts 301, Michigan 214, Minnesota 244, Mississippi 179, Missouri 202, Montana 211, Nebraska 213, Nevada 237, New Hampshire 244, New Jersey 251, New Mexico 203, New York 278. Good God. North Carolina 204, North Dakota 202. Shout out North Dakota coming in for the family of four. Ohio 209. And look how big of a jump that was. For a single person in North Dakota, it was 50,000. If two single people get married and have two kids, let's say within, regardless really whatever time it is, they will go from 100K to 200K. Because those wages are probably playing closer in North Dakota in mass, not even on average in mass to that, 52K number, whatever it was for single people. Ohio 209, Oklahoma 194, Oregon 257, PA 230, Rhode Island 249, South Carolina 200, South Dakota 182, Tennessee 195, Texas 201, Utah 218, Vermont 248, Virginia 235, Washington 257, West Virginia 189, Wisconsin 225, and then Wyoming 203. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Look, I'm going to be very, very clear. These numbers are a floor. These numbers are not what you need. If you're talking about you living in Massachusetts, family of four, I'm just going to break it down as we wrap up. For Massachusetts, again, $301,000. Let's do it. 300K. And this thing, I think the number I use on one of the very first, is it the Quarter and Full Effect episode 13 or 14? But if you do 20%, that's 60K, you're down at 24K, $240,000. And all you did was invest that 20% they're talking about for the 50-30 budget. Then if we sit here and go from 240K, we're going to talk about, okay, let's pay taxes on this. Okay, let's just put it at 25%. Let's do 15% again. So we talk about that. We're talking about now you're at 204,000. Let's call it 200,000 to be nice. Then we're going to minus the 24K, right? For the health insurance, now we had 160, 176, $175,000. All right, you start ordering all these factors in. Where's the money at? But all right, y'all, that's it. Locked and loaded. End of the episode. I want to be very clear. Necessities, debt, payments, investments, lifestyle. If you do not have any debt, these numbers are more reasonable. But once you add in debt, and then obviously for the people who have children, and it's a family of four, so you got more than four, that number is higher. But when I didn't even, all that math was doing, I didn't even factor in saving money for your kids' retirement. So if you, your kids' college funds, if you got two kids, you paying for their daycare and you paying for their college tuition at the same time. You're gonna run out of money. And that's why you see people who earn over six figures, they're still struggling financially, because when you actually run the numbers on what you quote unquote need to spend money on, and then what people want, quote unquote, or choose to spend money on, they operate at a deficit. At best, at worst case, they're operating deficit and then, living off of debt. Most people, when they try to do what they want to do from a financial standpoint, they realize when they're trying to, round this plan and do the budget, see where the money comes from, do a 50, 30, 20 budget, whatever it is, they realize they don't have enough money. All right. That's it, y'all. Locked and loaded. End of the episode. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. Look at my eyes. They're low as hell. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you leave those rating and reviews on the podcast platforms as well. My information, as well as my coach Jordan information, can be found in the description on YouTube. Jordan, Stop Stalling J. For socials, his business page is finallyfit.live, where you can come and sign up for the virtual Monday and Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time training sessions. Myself, sideline_Corey on socials. You can reach out to me, as you can imagine, for the financial coaching information. All right. Y'all, these numbers, I would say the number that you need is going to be closer to 150%. So if it's 300K, you're going to need closer to like 450K to get there. It is what it is, and it's not like people sit down and want things to cost as much as they cost. Well, some people might sit down and do it, right? Conspiracy theorists out there who believe what they believe. But when you just talk about, because a lot of people want to be able to retire, they want to be able to send their kids to college. When you start running this math, budgets get destroyed. When you add in healthcare, daycare, life insurance. I mean, talking about this life insurance policy, and you got $250,000, $300,000, income, household income. Both people get. Ooh, excuse me. Both people get life insurance policies. That number's going to add up. All right, that's it, y'all. Locked and loaded again. You got any comments, questions, concerns? By the way, I'm terrible. Shout out to y'all. We see y'all running up the numbers. The numbers are continuing to go up. We hit over 100 subscribers today. So shout out to y'all for continuing to subscribe to the channel. For those of y'all that listen to this, I should have said this in the beginning, because most people aren't, they're not going to get to this part. But please leave any comments, feedback that y'all have for y'all. Yes, it's taken out of context. I am working on that. The feet are being dragged, not on our side. But when it comes to this VA stuff, so I'm just sort of waiting on tightening it up, the VA stuff for my wife. We're both doing it, but going over it, making the list, checking it twice. But we're still waiting on one document to kind of send this off so we can kind of start preparing for exams and